Hi there, and thanks again for tuning in this week. I wanted to begin with mentioning the situation in Ukraine that we are watching unfold from afar. I think we all have been watching the invasion of Ukraine with dismay and apprehension. We wanted to take a stand locally to demonstrate our solidarity with the people of Ukraine, which is why we have removed all of the products produced in Russia from the county's ABS stores until further notice. I also want to note that the president of the employees union, McGeo, Gino Wren, was one of the first to make this suggestion, and it came from his workforce as well, and I just want them to know and everybody to know that I appreciate it. I've asked our team at the Department of Health and Human Services also to look into ways we can prepare for and help Ukrainian refugees should they seek refuge here in our county. Back to our COVID update here in the county. Before I give an update, I want to wish Congressman Jamie Raskin a speedy recovery from COVID. I hope he has a mild case and gets over it soon. I want to note that this week marks the 2-year anniversary of the COVID pandemic. On March 5th, 2020, the first 3 cases of COVID-19 in the state of Maryland were identified in Montgomery County. I actually remember being in a meeting at a church and getting this text in the middle of that meeting, and I relayed that information to the people in the congregation. It was a very unsettling moment to know that it had arrived here. It's hard to believe we've endured 2 years of this life-changing pandemic. I want to thank the many individuals and organizations who've worked extremely hard to provide resources and keep Montgomery County residents safe as we fought this pandemic. Due to the incredible work of our government employees, volunteers, residents, and partners, Montgomery County is one of the highest vaccination rates and lowest case rates of large jurisdictions across the country. Most importantly, we have saved lives, as our county's COVID death rate is nearly 1/3 lower than the national average. We will continue to use what we've learned over the past 2 years in our ongoing response, monitoring the situation daily and doing everything we can to reduce the risk, encouraging vaccinations and getting people boosted. The good news is that unlike when this first hit, we now have a good sense of how to stifle the spread. Recently, the CDC has outlined new community level indicators, and based on these new indicators, our community level is now low. Additionally, our case and positivity rates continue to drop. This is great news, and we're focused on vaccinations and boosters. While more than 85% of our eligible population who could get vaccinations have already gotten their shots, only about 55% of our eligible population has been boosted. Those without boosters are more vulnerable, even people who are vaccinated. The data shows there's a difference between being vaccinated and being boosted. This is especially important if you're over the age of 65, because the risk of severe illness is greater than it is for the general population. Boosters help reduce hospitalization and other serious side effects from this virus. I am urging everyone to get your booster shot if you're eligible. Boosting has saved lives during Omicron, and it will continue to save lives as we continue to deal with this virus. Even as we recover from this pandemic, we remember those who we have lost and all that we've gone through. This month, we'll take time to remember the friends, neighbors, co-workers, and loved ones in Montgomery County who died from COVID-19, and reflect on the challenges as we faced as a community these last 2 years. Our fight against this deadly virus continues, but as we approach the 2nd anniversary of our first COVID case, I'm asking residents of the county to take some time to remember those we lost and acknowledge the countless residents and organizations who are working tirelessly to help save lives. We would not be here today without our collective efforts, and we're taking this month to simply say thank you. Each week during this remembrance, we will focus on a different theme, including our healthcare and emergency and essential workers, and those who stepped up to help keep food on people's tables and roofs over their heads. For the rest of this week, I'm asking county residents to join our tribute to those we lost and share your stories and pictures on social media. Please use the hashtag #MoCoRemembers. We've lost nearly 2,000 people, and each of them has a story. This is our time to honor them and their legacy, and I hope you'll join me, members of the council and religious leaders, for this special tribute. I do agree with President Biden's ending words from the State of the Union speech. We are stronger now than we were a year ago, and we will be even stronger a year from now. We're stronger because the people of this county did what we had to do to protect ourselves and our families, and I can't thank you enough for that. And we're stronger because we're prepared now for the virus, which is a far better place than we were when this started. We've learned a lot and have a good sense of how we can control community spread because we've been able to do this successfully. We ended the month of February and Black History Month on Monday with an uplifting moment as I signed an executive order to rename the Silver Spring Library after Tuskegee Airman Brigadier General Charles McGee. I want to thank Councilmember Will Jawando for leading on this effort and for joining me at the event. Brigadier General McGee died recently at the age of 102, and it was a great moment to honor his life and his legacy. He served as a fighter pilot and member of the 332nd Fighter Squadron, famously known as the Tuskegee Airmen, an all-black unit in World War II. And he was followed by combat missions in Korea and Vietnam. He fought against racism and for equality his entire career and paved the way for many African-American service members. It was a special moment because we were joined by his family members, members of the Tuskegee Airmen, the Montgomery County Commission on Veterans Affairs, and his fraternity brothers from Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. There is no better way that I could imagine to conclude Black History Month than by memorializing a Montgomery County resident who is an American hero and a trailblazing African American. This month, we're also celebrating Women's History Month and honoring the women in our county and in our nation for their invaluable contributions and selfless service to others. And this year, the Montgomery County Commission for Women is celebrating its 50th anniversary. As part of that celebration, the Commission is partnering with Montgomery women through the Women Making History Awards, a program that honors 31 women throughout the month who have made extraordinary inroads in Montgomery County. The Commission is also holding its The Girl Power Contest, asking county residents 5 years and older to answer questions related to women. As we honor the women who have made history, we must also continue to build a culture of empowerment and opportunity for the next generation of female leaders. I encourage everyone to enter the Montgomery County Commission for Women's Girl Power Contest so they can help highlight the great work done by women and the impact they have in our county. For the last half of the century, Montgomery County Commission for Women has helped our women in the county by establishing networks, mentors, and resources enabling their success. I'm grateful to the Commission for all the work they've done and continue to do to ensure the history is told in Montgomery County. I want to talk a moment about the Neville Street Shelter. This Saturday, we will join the Montgomery County Coalition for the Homeless for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Neville Street Shelter in Rockville. The Neville Street facility is a critical project that will provide temporary shelter for individuals experiencing homelessness. The shelter will also offer services to help people in this time of transition. This shelter represents a major shift in county policy. We are committed to housing those without shelter every month of the year. Before, we only provided shelter during the winter months. With this shelter, we will offer the homeless the dignity of a bed every night and a place to be during the day. I'm proud of our efforts to respect everyone in our county. I think back to when we were in the middle of COVID and we were putting folks in temporary shelters and they were going to be off the street for the first time all year long. Well, that 1 year stretched into 2 years. And I realized that at the end of this, normally we would just put people back on the street. I couldn't bring myself to do that. I asked folks here to find a building, rehabilitate that building, and make it possible for us to house the homeless permanently year-round. And I'm really proud of the efforts that were made to make this come true. So I'm very happy and look forward to seeing people at the celebration. Last weekend, I was pleased to join Senator Chris Van Hollen and other elected leaders to announce the completion of the Maryland 355 crossing project in Bethesda. This long-planned project improves use and access to the Medical Center metro station and makes it safer for pedestrians and bicyclists to use both sides of 355 near NIH and the Walter Reed Military Medical Center. These two institutions, by the way, are the two largest employers in Montgomery County, so you can imagine how busy this intersection gets. This is one of the most important improvements to pedestrian safety in Montgomery County in recent years. Maryland 355, Rockville Pike, and NIH and Walter Reed Metro Station have been a dangerous intersection for generations, and the employees and visitors of these critical institutions deserve better. I'm grateful for the partnerships and hard work that went into completing this project. And it's appropriate that this pedestrian underpass is named after the late Phil Alperson, former Montgomery County government employee, key Capitol Hill aide, well known for getting things done for his county and his country. Getting things done in Montgomery County is what we're doing each and every day. From honoring our residents and local heroes to helping the homeless to improving safety for pedestrians and finding a new path forward from COVID, we are here to serve you, our residents, businesses, and everyone who calls Montgomery County home. Thank you for joining me today, and see you again next week.